Welcome to the Baltimore Colts Show, Season 1, Episode 4. Because the season almost over, like the regular season almost over, and then we go into playoffs, and then at the end of the playoffs, we got the Super Bowl, and then the Season 1 of the Baltimore Colts Show is going to be done until next season when we have Season 2, which will be a full season. It won't just be 4 episodes, well, 4 and then play. But whatever. We are in week 17, and and stuff and junk, and let's get into it. Let's get into week 17. That's where you played it.
I got it. Shut up.
There still is music for our intro. You just can't hear it.
Could you not hear it? Well,
no.
I don't know why, but it may have been because I was playing through YouTube. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. So just nod your head and act like there was music.
Yeah. No. What you need to do is you need to watch the show again, but have the intro playing in the background on it, like on a separate screen. I'll
fix it next week. I'm sorry that I lost all my files. Everything. Everything.
Hey. You should be sorry. Should be real sorry about that. Because then we have to watch an intro without music. And it was really good music. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Fans enjoyed it, and now they can't hear it. But anyway, let's go over week 16 before we jump into week 17. Were there any games that you wanted to talk about?
I definitely want to talk about the Ravens game against the Steelers. Definitely a good game. I was excited for it. They should have won, but they didn't. Obviously. But yeah, I mean, definitely a good game. I feel like it didn't really heat up until the fourth quarter, it felt like. And it looked like there were times where like Baltimore looked like they had put it away, but obviously that didn't happen. I don't know. That game put Baltimore out of the playoffs, which sucks because not only does it suck because it put Baltimore out of the playoffs, but it sucks because it was Pittsburgh that did it. Like that just stings a little bit. I hate the Steelers a lot. They suck. But it was definitely a good game. I was excited for it. I enjoyed it as usual. Definitely a good game. Let's see. In hindsight, I wish the Dolphins would have lost. That would have helped. Let's see. The Browns got their first win. That was pretty cool. I was excited about that. The Colts lost again. So, And Derek Carr is out for, he's out for 4 to 6 weeks, which is pretty much the playoffs. So that's not good. The Raiders aren't going to be the same team without him. We've seen it before where, like, the difference between a good team and a really bad team is the quarterback. Obviously not this year, but I've seen it with the Browns in the same fashion where, like, they've had, like, a top 10 defense. They've had good offensive weapons, but then they didn't have the quarterback to make the throws, and that kind of hurt them. But cool. I was glad the Browns got their first win. That was pretty nice. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. There was at least one more. Tampa Bay lost again. Darn it! I'm so upset. Tampa Bay lost. Houston ended up winning the AFC South, which was pretty cool. I was excited about that. Although I kind of wanted the Titans to win it, but I'll take it. But Mariota's out for a while too, so it probably would. It's better that the Texans are in it than I feel like it is for the Titans or the Colts at this point. I don't know. It's a weird situation though. Like, pretty much the playoff picture is, I think it's pretty much set. The AFC is set. The NFC is not completely set yet, but the AFC is set. So I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting first round. I feel like. And plus, if the Raiders lose this upcoming week, the Chiefs actually win the division, so that's pretty interesting too. But Week 16 was pretty interesting though. There was a lot of like different implications going on with Week 16.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty good week. Kind of threw me off with the whole with the holidays because a lot of the games were on Saturday, and I forgot, and I was like, "Ah, crap." So I got to see some of the later games, but the only game that I really was that interested in was the Raiders and the Colts, and also the Dolphins. Glad the Dolphins win because the Finns get the wins, but I'm obviously upset that Carr broke his fibula. I think they said broke something in his leg. I don't know. I, I didn't really look that much into it, but I mean, they do have their two backups aren't bad quarterbacks. At least from we haven't seen. I don't think too much of them in the NFL. I think we had one season where Matt McGloin played a couple games, and we have Connor Cook, who is third string.
He should start. Connor Cook should start. That's my boy from Michigan State. Love that guy. He should start. They'll win the whole thing if he starts. I'm telling you.
I don't know about that. But I think both of them are really good quarterbacks if they're given a chance. But then, it is the extra, stress of being in the playoffs. So I still hope that they do well in the playoffs. But kind of like DJ said, we've seen teams that are really good because of their quarterback, and then their quarterback gets injured and they're really bad, kind of like the Patriots. I'm just saying, when Brady goes down, the Patriots tend to go down. I'm sorry, Patriots.
The Patriots, real quick. I'm curious. Do you think that Tom Brady should be MVP?
No,
I don't either. Because, and this is kind of a discussion I saw on Facebook. It kind of depends on what you what you define as the MVP. Because to me, I feel like the MVP is if you take that player away, they would be a completely different team. And in other words, a bad team. Now, we saw that the Patriots weren't really that bad without Tom Brady. So I don't think he's the most valuable player in the NFL this year. I honestly think it's Derek Carr. Now, will Derek Carr get it? Probably not. But I personally think it's Derek Carr. And we'll see. We'll see when he's not there next week.
Yeah, I don't know. I think everyone automatically goes to Tom Brady. No matter who's in the NFL at the time, it's always Tom Brady. They're like, "Oh, he's the greatest of all time," and I'm like, "No." I will give him his credit. He is one of the best quarterbacks of the past, however 10 years, whatever, however long. I think whatever. But also, I feel like people don't give other people credit. Like Carr's been doing really good. Peyton Manning was one of the best too. He never got as much credit as Tom Brady, I don't think. But anyway, speaking of the Patriots, 41-3.
Yeah, they played the Jets, so I mean, even in like when you compare it to the NBA, I don't think the Warriors wouldn't be as good without Curry. If we look back at the last MVP with Steph Curry, the Warriors wouldn't be as good without Curry, but they'd still be good. They have Durant, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson can drop 60 on you in a minute. Whereas and I guess it's kind of a situation too. If you award it to the most valuable player every year, it might not actually change. Because I think LeBron would be the most valuable player Because if you take Lamar off the Cavs, well, we saw what happened with that.
Anyway, let's jump into week 17, final week of the regular season. For the most part, doesn't really matter that much. But anyway, we got on Sunday no Thursday games, which is kind of sad. It's gonna be an empty Thursday. But we got for the first game, 1:00. We got Cincinnati versus the Baltimore Ravens. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I forgot. We hold back. We hold off on the. Anyway, we're gonna start with Tennessee versus Houston. Oh man. DJ, Tennessee or Houston?
Houston's already made the playoffs, so I expect them to sit some players. Which it's kind of weird because it's not like Brock Osweiler's been blowing the world away, so he's gonna sit this week. So I think they may sit some players, but I don't think they sit Tom Savage. I think they let him continue to play just to kind of continue to get in that rhythm. And I think the Texans are going to win because Marcus Mariota is also still hurt. So and he's hurt for a while too. So that's going to hurt them.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with Houston. Depending on who Tennessee sits and who actually plays. But put them on upset alert just in case, in case they decide not to sit anybody and they put their full roster out there because they're like, screw it.
Vince Young's coming back and Tennessee's going to win it all.
Anyway, we got New England going up against the Dolphins, the Fins that get the wins. And you know what? I'm going with Miami. I'm doing it, because New England's probably going to sit a bunch of players. They are. And Miami is going to just school them. They are going to take New England's, second strings and their third strings and just teach them a lesson about deflating balls and recording practices and all of that. And I'm sorry, I promised I wouldn't bring things up like that. I'm sorry, I apologize. But
Casey, since we are on the Baltimore Coach show, Deflategate actually cost both the Ravens and the Colts 2 seasons. We have not been able to recover from the deflating of balls. I'm just saying. I think they did something crucial to those balls. I'm just saying they messed up.
They did. But Fins get the wins. DJ.
Yeah, I'm going with the Dolphins. I think there's going to be a lot of players sitting here, but I'm going with the Dolphins.
All right. Minnesota at Chicago. Or no, Chicago at Minnesota. My bad. I looked at it differently. It doesn't really matter because I don't think either team's going to win, let's be honest. But I'm going with Minnesota because they haven't been playing the greatest, but they're playing Chicago. So, Minnesota. DJ?
I'm going with Chicago. I think this is going to be a really bad game, but Minnesota's offense is too bad for me to trust. So I'm going with Chicago.
All right. We got Buffalo going into New Jersey. They'll tell you it's New York, but it's New Jersey. To go up against those New York Football Jets, who are terrible, just terrible. But I will give them credit. It feels like every other week they try to play, and then the next week they're just like, how do we play football again? So this might be a week where they play a little bit better than last week, but I still think Buffalo's going to win. DJ.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Buffalo, Rex Ryan got fired on, I think it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I don't understand firing coaches 4, 3. Okay, 4, I get it. 3-2-1 games before the season ends. Because what can you really see from an interim coach? Because you kind of feel bad for the interim coach. Because a lot of times, if you're fired at the beginning of the season or the middle of the season, at least the interim coach has a chance to actually, do something with, with the team. But yeah, I'm going with the Bills. They're playing the Jets. If you've seen Eric's fantasy football record this year, you'll know how good the Jets are.
They're real good. They're real. So, speaking of our fantasy football season, how did you lose to Justin? How? How?
Like I said, once Gronk was gone, that was pretty much it for me. And pretty much, let me go back and see real quick because I don't remember what happened to me. Let's see. If I look back, of course it won't let me actually see it. But I don't know. I don't know what happened. I think it was either one of his players did really well or what. Like my team's been bad for the past little bit. I have Stephon Diggs, who was the most targeted receiver back in like week 4 when the Vikings were good. And then as soon as I got him, the offense just went downhill from there. So that didn't help. I was playing both Jarvis Landry and Jay Ajayi, and really only one of them could go off, and it was Jay Ajayi. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't like I tried, but like I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do anything. Like let me look back. Plus, Russell Wilson had 33 points after that game was set to be the most defensive game ever against Arizona last week. He had 33. Doug Baldwin had 23, and Travis Kelce had 22. Was I supposed to win? Like, was I supposed to win? Like, I mean, and the defense that he had, which was Dallas, had 8 points. So, like, was I supposed to win?
It's almost as bad as my game. I hate that man. Anyway, but I made second place, so I'm happy, even though I hate that man so much. How? Anyway, but yeah, Buffalo. I think I think they could win. Just kind of. I mean, they're playing the Jets. Let's face it. It's kind of hard to not win against the Jets.
Also, real quick, while we were just talking about fantasy, Eric is officially the 10th place person. Officially. Now, Eric was 1-12, but he got a consolation game for 9th place against Josh,
and
he lost. So,
the only person he beat is Justin, who you lost to.
I'm kind of ashamed. But Justin also Justin still beat 7 other people this year. So just saying.
But anyway, yeah, I feel bad for Rex Ryan. I don't think he's necessarily a bad coach. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Buffalo. They're good and then they're not good, and then they're good and then I don't know. I want Buffalo to be good. I do. But anyway, moving on. We got Dallas going into Philly. Going with Dallas. DJ.
Well, with Philly, I think Dallas is going to sit a lot of people. Just because they've already clinched 2. I think Romo might actually get some snaps in this game, which actually is going to cause a little more of a quarterback controversy, like going into the playoffs. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm going with the Eagles.
All right. So we got Pittsburgh and going up against Cleveland. I'm not going to give Cleveland 2 in a row. I'm not going to do it. I'm still upset that they won last week. I wanted them to go 0-17. I wanted them to do it. They were like, nah, bruh. Or 0-16, my bad. But they were like, nah, we're going to get 1 and ruin the entire season. So good job, Cleveland. Good job. You ruined everything. But going with Pittsburgh. even if they sit guys out, I'm going with Pittsburgh. DJ, he's probably gonna.
This will be that. This will be that time Pittsburgh doesn't sit anyone out and Big Ben gets hurt. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Cleveland, I guess. Just because I think Pittsburgh is gonna sit everyone out. I mean, because really, like, the AFC is so stiff right now. Like, there's really nowhere you can go, as far as in the playoff picture is concerned. If I'm not mistaken, the only change that can be made is the Raiders and the Chiefs, which probably actually will change. I don't think there's any other people who can go up or down. Everybody else is either 2 or 3 games away. Yeah, because Houston won the division, Pittsburgh won the division. Yeah, like, so the only switch that can be made is Oakland and Kansas City. And I think Oakland would end up being number 5, so they would end up facing Pittsburgh. So that'd be interesting.
All right. So then we got Tampa going up against Carolina. I'm gonna go with Tampa. Yeah, because I don't trust Carolina. I like saying Tampa Bay. I can't say that with Carolina. Can't.
Carol baby. That doesn't work.
I mean, I can't do it. And if I can't say baby or get the wins, I'm not gonna pick you unless you're Indy. Just not. That's how it works.
He barely picks Indy.
Yeah. Anyway, Tampa, DJ.
I'm going with Tampa. I think Tampa still makes the playoffs, so I'm going with Tampa.
Okay. All right. Then we got Atlanta hosting the New Orleans Saints. Gonna go with Atlanta at home, and they're probably gonna lose just because I picked them. DJ.
I'm going with Atlanta because the Saints suck.
Yeah. All right. Good points there. I like it. Straight to the point. I like
valid,
it. It is valid. It is. They do. They suck. Then we got Denver going up against the Raider Raid. I don't think that Denver can defeat the Raider Raid. Even if you dilute the Raider Raid, even if you put a bunch of water in
dilute,
which is dilute. Even if you dilute the Raider Raid, which is
that like the spinoff of the New Day, or?
Yeah. It's the spinoff of the New Day, the Dilute Day. If you dilute, I can't even say it now because you go with the red. Shut up. Oh, with the team with the black jerseys and the gray pants. Can't DJ.
I'm going with Denver. Oakland's gonna be bad without Derek Carr.
They're not.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I mean, like, we've seen Oakland have talent before, but the main issue was quarterback. So they're gonna be bad, and they're gonna miss that first round bye, which they actually kind of need.
They're gonna be good. They're gonna be real good.
And the Chiefs are gonna win that division.
No, that's not gonna happen. Anyway, we got Arizona going into Los Angeles against the Rams, and they're gonna win against the Rams because the Rams. DJ.
Yep, Arizona. The Rams are kind of bad. Yeah, Arizona.
I don't know. Yeah. Then we got Kansas City, who sucks and is terrible and is not better than Oakland. They're not. They're just not. Shut up. They're not. Going up against San Diego Superchargers, or however.
Go Chargers, go! Yeah. They coming back, baby. They coming back. They're gonna make the playoffs, even though they out, but they gonna make it.
I'm going with San Diego to go all the way to the Super Bowl.
I miss the Chargers, man. I do. I miss the Chargers goal. I missed it. I miss it.
Are you picking the Chargers?
No. I'm picking Kansas City because the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers lost to the Browns, guys. Just let that sink in. Kansas City.
You got to try to lose to the Browns. Like you really got to try, and they tried. They did. And they succeeded at losing to the Browns. We got Seattle going into San Francisco and winning because they're going into San Francisco.
Yeah. I feel like Seattle could sit all of their players in this game. They could just not have players play and still beat San Francisco. I'm going with Seattle, unfortunately. I don't want to, but I'm going.
You got the Auras going up against the Giants. I'm gonna let DJ pick this one first because I don't know.
I'm going with the Giants. I think they have more to play for. Yeah, they do. They have more to play for. No, they both have equal amounts to play for. The issue is the Washington can win this game and still potentially not make the playoffs. But yeah, I'm going with the Giants. The Redskins messed themselves up when they lost to who they lose to? They shouldn't have lost to. I think Carolina. They on Monday Night Football. They goofed on that. So I think they lost all their chances, unfortunately, because I like Kirk Cousins and I hope they make it in because I want to be able to cheer for Kirk Cousins. But I'm going with the Giants. But the issue is too, like if it's possible. Well, no. I mean the issue is I can't like I want Tampa Bay to be in, but I want Washington to be in, but they both can't be in. So
I'm gonna go with Washington to win and still not make the playoffs because
wait, San Francisco won last week?
Auras. Did they?
They did.
Oh.
I think. Yeah, they beat LA. Because
well, that's not right. We got Green Bay going up against Detroit.
This is actually the NFC North title game.
Oh man, I really want to go for Detroit. I really do. But this is
Not the only one.
This is going to be the game where they remember that they're Detroit. But I'm going with Detroit. I'm going to do it. I'm going.
He went all the way around that to still say Detroit.
I really don't want Green Bay to win again. I don't. I like Green Bay, but I want Detroit to win. DJ.
Yeah, I'm going with Detroit. I really want Detroit to win this division. For some reason, I just don't want Green Bay to win. I don't know why. Like I can't explain why I don't want them to win. Maybe it's because it feels like Detroit hasn't won in a while. And I feel like Detroit's played like the better team this year than Green Bay. Like Green Bay's just getting hot at the right time. Shut up. Just stop it. I'm going with the freaking Lions.
All right. So we're going to backtrack a little bit. Cincinnati going up against Baltimore. DJ.
I don't know if I'm going to watch this game. I'm so heartbroken. God. I'm going with the Ravens. Duh. They're playing Cincinnati. Cincinnati's still very hurt up. I'm kind of curious to see how the Ravens play this game, because obviously you don't want anything catastrophic happening and getting some big injuries. But I don't want to talk too much about like next season until like next week. You know, kind of when we kind of talk about the Ravens and the Colts. I guess like season recaps. I guess we could do next week since there won't be as many games to talk about. But yeah, like I'm curious to see how they play this game because they're treating it like it still matters, although it doesn't. It's kind of a moral victory game, I guess, but I don't know. God, they had so much potential this year. But anyway, I'm going with the Ravens.
All right. Man. I guess I'll go with the Ravens. unless Cincinnati plays really well, and then I'm going to change my pick.
Midway through the game.
Yeah, I'm going to be that guy. And then we got Indianapolis hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Let's face it, we're going to mess this up somehow. Let's just be honest. Every time I want Indy to play really good and they're the favorites, but Jacksonville is 3-12, so
they're slightly better than the 49ers.
Slightly. You know what? No, I'm going to go with Indy. I'm going to be a true fan and cry when they lose. Because this is it, guys. This is it for the season, guys. I can't wait until next season when everyone goes, Indy's going to be really good this season, and then we're not again.
And then they forget the defense. Like that's the main issue with Indy right now. I didn't think it's the offense. I like their offense can keep up with everyone, but like their defense can't.
Maybe we should draft some better defensive players. I'm just saying, maybe stop people might be a good idea, because it's cool when we make touchdowns, but then when the other team makes touchdowns, it's not. No, it's not.
And unfortunately, Chuck Pagano's going to get fired, and I'm going to be sad because I like Chuck Pagano. A lot of Colts fans don't like him, but I like him.
I like him.
He was the defensive coordinator for Baltimore, and I think I would rather them not fire him and set him as the defensive coordinator because the issue is you can fire him and it not matter, but I think he could really make that defense a lot better because it's not like they don't have talent on defense. I just don't think they have a good scheme. Because, I mean, they have, Vontae Davis is a monster, as far as a corner is concerned. If they get one more good corner in the draft, they'll be fine. Because, I mean, we saw how good they put, and I think Vontae Davis is better than Jimmy Smith. But we saw how good Jimmy Smith and Tavon Young played together. Tavon Young was a rookie. Jimmy Smith was just a good shutdown corner, practically. And that's kind of how Vontae is. If they put a good rookie beside him, what if they've been using their first round picks on offensive linemen? Their line is never going to get better. So just stop it. You use your first round pick on a good solid corner from Alabama or LSU or something like that, and I think they'll be fine because I don't even think their safeties are that bad. I think it's just the corners. They can't hold up long enough for the pass rush to get there.
Yeah. But I think as far as the coaches, I think a lot of the coaches, it feels like they get fired are, better at
better than Jeff Fisher.
Yeah. Are better either with and as defensive coordinators or offensive coordinators or special teams. So I would rather see them be changed to a different position rather than fired.
Yeah, and I understand I understand why they brought Pagano in. I understand you have a good offense, so bringing a defensive coach, I get that. I understand that, but like we're saying, I would rather them put Pagano at defensive coordinator and then kind of bring in another coach, maybe a coach he's worked with before because that might help. But I don't know if you want Marvin Lewis as a coach. But I think Marvin Lewis might get fired, so that might be a good place for him to go because they've had a good offense in Cincinnati, and they know how to draft too. They know how to draft good players with Perfect and Vincent Ray. As much as I hate the Bengals, they're the way they draft. My goodness, I wish the Ravens would do that. Well, the Ravens draft well. They just don't keep the players they draft, which is stupid.
All right. I think we should get Tony Dungy back. I like Dungy. I do.
You should hire Peyton Manning. He's not doing anything. Come on.
He should be the quarterback coach. He should. Yeah. But real quick before we end, since we're going into the playoffs, any early predictions on the Super Bowl? Just because I feel like there's so many teams that are in the playoffs right now. it's kind of hard to pick a definitive.
Yeah.
Even with like the Patriots in there are so many good teams.
Yeah. Let me talk about the teams I don't want to win. New England, Pittsburgh, definitely. That's pretty much it in the AFC. I would be fine with Kansas City winning because they haven't won in a long time. It took them my entire lifetime to win a playoff game. So, like they haven't that would be cool to see, I feel like. Justin would be happy. I would hate to hear from him the next year though. I would love to see Houston win. Like I would love to see a Houston Dallas Super Bowl, even though I don't want Dallas to make it. But that would be cool. Just kind of the Battle of Texas type thing. They could milk that for all it's worth. I would love to see Miami win. Do I think they're going to? I don't know if they're talented enough right now to. I don't think they're consistent enough in the as far as the playoffs are concerned to do it. But as far as the AFC is concerned, can I go with Baltimore? Can I do it? No. As far as the AFC is concerned, realistically, I think Kansas City could do it. God, I just don't want to say Pittsburgh or New England. I just don't. But I can see Kansas City doing it. I would love to see Houston do. I would love to see any of those three I just talked about: Miami, Kansas City, or Houston. And is it possible? Of course. I mean, it's all 0-0 when you get to the playoffs. But I don't know. Like Houston's got to figure out what they're going to do at quarterback. That's a big handcuff they have on them now. Miami, the biggest flaw they have, I feel like, is just consistency. More so, I think Kansas City is the most complete team. They can make big plays when they need to. So I'm just gonna go Kansas City. I'm going Kansas City in the AFC. I'm just gonna do it. I'm going Kansas City, but I'm hoping Houston. And in the NFC, oh man, there's so many teams I would like to see. I would like to see Tampa Bay go. I actually like to see the Giants go. I actually like Eli Manning. I like to see Detroit go. Ironically enough, as much as I've hated on Atlanta so much, I would like to see Atlanta go. I've hated on Atlanta since Joe Flacco got drafted. But this year, it's just that I guess they were bad for a couple of years, so it kind of made me appreciate them a little bit more. But I'm gonna go. I don't think Tampa Bay can do it. They're not consistent enough. The Giants have the defense to win it. Detroit. All right, so AFC, like I said, I'm going with Kansas City. NFC, I'm going with Atlanta because I don't think Dallas is that good. I really don't. And we've seen Dak Prescott struggle against good defenses. We've seen him struggle the last couple of weeks, to be honest. Dez Bryant threw the prettiest ball last night against who they play? Detroit. Dez Bryant threw the best pass of the game. I don't think they're that good. I just don't. I don't believe in the hype of Dallas. I think Dallas only wins if Romo comes in. But yeah, Kansas City. I'm going Kansas City versus Atlanta. / Houston versus Detroit. / Houston versus Giants. But my main pick is Kansas City versus Atlanta.
All right, man.
Like you said though, there's a lot of teams to pick. There's a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of teams to pick from, but there's a lot of good competitive teams, teams that could actually do it. It feels like.
I would, as far as the NFC, I would love to see either Tampa or Washington get in. I think that would be really cool. But I'm gonna go.
And I don't want to go with Seattle either because I just don't think they're that good.
I'm actually gonna go. I'm actually gonna go with Detroit in the NFC. I think if they play as well as they have for the majority of the season, I think they could do it. And I think that'd be great for Detroit.
Yeah, they would milk that story too. Like at one time they were 0-16 and now they're Super Bowl champions. You know they would milk that for all it's worth if they
Yeah.
won.
Yeah. AFC, I mean, obviously, I would love to see Oakland make it, but it's really questionable now with the quarterback situation. I don't want to see New England. Dear God, please no. Please no.
That's how I feel about Pittsburgh.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Miami. Pins.
Like the Fins get the wins. I don't want to see Pittsburgh win again because I'm so tired as a Ravens fan of hearing Pittsburgh fans like they'll be like, you know how many rings we got? I'm like, y'all have been in the NFL since the NFL started. We've been in the NFL like 15 to 20 years. like literally, I think it's almost 20 years coming up. So like y'all should have 6 Super Bowl rings. I would hope so.
See, it's kind of similar being a Colts fan, hearing New England fans like saying how about they're the greatest, and I'm like, remember in the '90s when you suck, real bad? Remember that? Yeah.
I'm just like, y'all been in the NFL for like 3 million years. And if you want to make a realistic comparison, in the time that the Ravens have been a team, the Ravens have won the same amount of Super Bowls as the Steelers.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, that was Baltimore Colts Show, episode 4. So we'll be back next week for the beginning of the playoffs. I'm excited. DJ's excited. You're excited. And if you're not excited, why are you watching this show?
Please let the Crab Legs win the Super Bowl. Please. I need it.
Tampa baby. You're Super Bowl champions. I feel like there's so many teams that I would be fine with winning as long as, New England doesn't make it. I'd be fine with anybody, as long as it's not New England.
Or Pittsburgh.
Or Pittsburgh, yeah. New England or Pittsburgh, can't do it. Can't do it. But make sure to leave your predictions in the comments or tweet us. Follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. We will be back for another episode of Who Do You Sign Tonight. Also, you won't see it because we're not going to do it. But we're doing our NBA fantasy draft tonight. So that's cool. And again, you won't see it, so you probably don't care. But we're telling you anyway because, we can. We can do that. We can tell you things that you can't see because we can. I mean, we could do it live, but it would be boring. It would be a long video. It would be kind of like watching Justin react to anything. Just boring and awkward.
Cue the Tony Atlas laugh.
But anyway, we'll see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.